So they have you come pull into the parking garage after you have paid you for the parking like normal.
Yes.
And they have you pull into these lanes they have set up. And you
Yes.
pull into the lane, and
that's right.
and they have you. Someone comes over and they roll down the window and they hand you a little baggie with a little test kit, and they have a mask and a shield on, and they're instructing you on how to do the swab and what to do and what not to do with it. Yep, and to label everything, and then you give it back to them in a sealed bag. You hand it to them, and then they tell you where you can park in the parking garage, and you wait in the parking garage for your results. So you're waiting in your own car.
Yeah.
You can run the AC. You can listen to the radio. They told us where to go if we need a restroom.
Yep.
Of course, be a little careful driving because there's other families parked in the cars. So watching out for kids and families who are not wanting to sit in their cars. But you park and you wait. And how long do you think it took?
Brilliant. I think it only took maybe
half an hour,
20, 30 minutes.
Yeah, I think they said 45 minutes, but it took less than that, definitely.
Yeah. Then you get notified that you're okay and you're ready to go.
Yep. Or you get notified that you're not okay. So that's the two results. Fortunately, our result was a spoiler alert. You may have figured out since we're talking about our cruise that we're approved aboard.
So we're approved aboard.
Yeah, and the message you get an alert on your phone, and an email, I think it was.
Yep, an email
explaining exactly that you're good to go, and it's the same login that you use for the site when you sign up originally before the cruise to submit your information. So that's basically how that process works.
I thought it was brilliant.
Yeah, because I was picturing us sitting in the terminal building, and last Disney Dream cruise we were on back in early 2020. We sat there and waited there for a while before we could board, just like you do on a lot of cruises. And there were a lot of people and kids in there. And I was picturing, wow, going behind the screen to get the test and then sitting out with a mask in the lobby waiting would be kind of a drag, but it was much nicer than that.
I was amazed at all the kids.
Yeah. Well, yeah. So we'll get into that too. Let's see. Yeah. Okay. So Jen and Dale did E-Med home tests.
Oh.
Okay. 15 minutes at home. See, I like that they're finding ways to make it easy.
Yeah.
We all want it to be safe. We all want it to be not particularly expensive. They paid for the test. We don't have to worry about it. I mean, at least we didn't pay for it directly. I'll say that. And we went into the terminal.
Uh-huh.
We went through security just like usual. They didn't hand us the cards. They do like some of the cruise lines like Carnival has done for a while, where the card is waiting for you at your room. But you basically are showing your passport going through. And I don't think we even showed our credit card because they were sure that they had it on file beforehand, which we normally do anyway. We board, we get into the terminal, and go ahead.
One nice thing that Disney does well is they make you feel appreciated right away. Mm-hmm. So when you enter into the main foyer area or the ballroom, you have all the officers lined up, and one of the officers will ask you what your last name is, and you tell them your last name, and then they'll say, welcome.
Yeah, they introduce you. And you're talking about when you're actually getting onto the ship.
Yes.
So before getting on the ship, I just did want to mention that when we went into the terminal, in case we didn't make it clear, this is Port Canaveral, so near Orlando, where we sailed on Disney Dream before. The beautiful terminal there. It's pretty much as soon as we walked onto that level, we were directed to go through the mouse ears.
Yes.
We were there at the assigned time.
Yes.
And of course, it took a little longer than that before we actually got on board because we were waiting in our car for results. But you spend very little time in the terminal. In fact, we were trying to get a couple pictures, and Joy was like, wait, I need another picture. And they're like, you can board now. And so, and our boarding time was 12:15 to 12:30. So not particularly late.
Yeah.
I think it was kind of in the middle, or maybe on the earlier end of the time frames. So that was pretty smooth. We got on board, and like you said, they do the big introduction. That if you watch the beginning of our live show, we have a clip of that in our intro, so you can see what that was like.
Yep.
And then we get on board. Now, they do tell you we're going to be doing, as you might expect, physical distancing. You're going to be wearing a mask some of the time, and reduced capacity. Now, one of the bartenders, I made friends with a couple of them. One of the bartenders told me that they were at roughly 50% capacity. And at time, most of the time, it felt that to me. In fact, I guessed ahead of time before he told me that I thought they were right around there, give or take. There are times where you feel like maybe it's a little more because you're, waiting on the gangway to get on board or whatever, and it feels a little bit like old times. But
or
most of the time,
shopping area was really crowded.
Yeah, let's talk about the shopping. Okay, so the shops, if you haven't been on Disney Dream, and some of the other ships I believe are very similar, where they have a few of the shops right in the same little area.
Yep.
And normally just head right in and you shop and do whatever, just like you would at one of the parks or at the mall or whatever. But this time, they were controlling it more, right?
Right. They would ask how many are in your party, and you'd say 2 or 1 or 3 or 4 or whatever, and they'd let you in. And
so you're queuing up.
Yep.
And just like they do a lot of other places, they have it spaced out so you're not, too close to each other.
So there's not that many people in the store.
Yep. So that was good. It controlled it. It discouraged maybe some people from shopping as much as they might, or window shopping, and maybe it reduced sales or whatever. But they're giving safety a priority over that.
Exactly.
Dale's asking a question about the muster drill. So let's talk about how they did it. Well, you want to explain how they did that?
That was brilliant.
So what was the first thing you remember about the muster drill? You remember? Go back to where they introduced us and we were walking in the atrium and they're clapping for us and everything.
Well, they did that.
What happens next?
Then they tell you to go to your room.
No.
They told us to go to the station for emergency. I didn't really understand that part. Go ahead.
Did you follow me? Okay. So
I just followed him wherever you went.
So they had us board very gradually. It did back us up on the gangway a little bit, but you're kind of slowed down boarding as opposed to on the cruise line because they are introducing each family. Once you walk into the atrium, there's somebody that guides you over towards the Donald statue, the Admiral Donald or whatever.
You wanted to take pictures with them?
Yep, and then they direct you.
They had on the floor big circles.
Yeah,
set apart from each other, so every family could stand in the circle.
Oh, that's right. You're remembering something I'd forgotten about. Yeah, okay, before we headed to the muster drill, they had us all stand on these big circles. That's part of what slowed things down too, besides the introduction. They had us stand on family circles, big circles, like you said. So we're spaced out in the atrium area.
I would say there was about 10 circles distance apart from each other.
Right. And so the line and the gangway stopped. Right. And what happened then?
And then they did a cute little welcome ceremony
with Mickey and Minnie. Yes.
With Mickey and Minnie, exactly.
And they were up on the balcony above and they're performing, and the crew was doing a little. It's just like some of the deck parties they do on the Disney cruise ships.
It's like a sail away, but it's a pre-sail away.
Yep. And we'll talk about the entertainment a little bit more in a few minutes. But so then after that, that's the part I was thinking about. Then they told us to go to deck 4, I guess, because that's 3. And so we went up a deck, and there was somebody that was directing us to our muster station.
Yep.
For us, it was the Walt Disney Theater.
Yes. The D Theater.
I know you always get excited when it's an indoor where you can sit down for a muster drill. But in this case, it was even better than that because they, as to go back to what Dale asked, they were using the app, and you basically just walk up and they say, "Okay, did you download the app?" And we said yes. And said, "Okay, great. So click here and click here," and they had some information on there to show us, so we understood there was a video for us to watch. I'm trying to remember what other information she gave us. She was explaining that this is the spot we would need to come to in the case of an emergency, and explained about the 7 short blasts of the ship's horn and the long blast, which if you've been on a cruise, you know that's the international sign of an emergency.
Throughout the ship, there were signs where Mickey was showing you how to put on your life jacket and how to connect it. So,
right.
I should have taken a picture of that.
Darn.
I know. I was taking a picture of everything.
Yes. So that was the muster drill. The muster drill was pretty easy, pretty seamless. Brilliant. And of course, they have the video running on the screen in your stateroom, and
you can watch that several times if you're not sure about what you're what you need to do.
Yes, and they still did. I was kind of surprised because even on the app on your phone, they have a button you can push to hear what the horn blast sound like for the emergency, which I believe I saw another cruise line did something similar to that. But there was a point where we had done all that, and we were sitting out and they on the deck 12, I think, right, overlooking the Cove Pool. And there was an announcement that all of the bars and shops would be closing because they were going to do the muster drill, which I was surprised they did that because I'm like, well, I thought everybody already did that. And I guess that was their way of being sure that anybody that missed it got all the announcements, and they directed anyone that hadn't done it to go to their stations. And they verify that you do it, I think, through the app. I forget how she did that exactly, but that's part of what she wanted to see, that we had the app and we entered something. So we confirmed that way. So it made it a lot easier.
It's so much easier than standing on the deck freezing.
Yeah.
It's raining or stuff,
Yeah, and just like Bill and Lucy's experience on Carnival or whatever, like she's saying, it's so much better this way. This is one thing. I mean, we've had to put up with a lot of things, especially not being able to go on cruises at all for a while. This is one thing I really hope they keep, or at least keep something close to it as
it was so
things
brilliant.
Get back to normal. Yes. So muster drill, that was pretty good, pretty smooth.
It was very smooth.
Yeah. So what did we do next? I think we might have gone to get some food. After the muster drill, remember we left there and we headed up to Cabanas, I think.
Yep, we went to Cabanas.
Yep.
And
okay, so now let's talk about the masks. I was going to try to dig up my mask, but I just people have seen the darn masks. I think people are sick of seeing the masks. Well, I bought on Castaway Cay. I bought one of the Mickey masks. But it's not.
So the rules about the masks are: if you're outside, you don't need to wear a mask
as long as you can be physically distanced.
Yes.
And you're on the ship or their private island, you don't have to wear a mask if you're outside.
Right. And you do need to wear a mask inside where there's a whole bunch of people inside. Right. And then the exception is if you're eating or drinking, you can take off your mask.
Okay. I'm going to say something about that because that's pretty much what they told us, but that's not really how it was applied. After experiencing it, I felt like it was a little different than that. Actually, when I say different, I mean better, less restrictive. Basically, once you sat down at a table at a restaurant,
yes,
you could take off your mask. It wasn't like for anyone who's flown on the airplanes lately, where it's like, if you're going to eat one of your pretzels, pull down your mask, eat the pretzel and put the mask back up. No, it wasn't that. It was, you're seated, take off your mask. Now, if you go to get up from the table to use the restroom or something like that,
then you need
to put your mask on, and if you forget, they'll remind you. So I think that was pretty reasonable, because once you're seated at the table, you're physically distanced anyway. The servers are still wearing the masks. And the same thing applies to seminars. Trivia, we went to a animation drawing class where we did so.
And every time you were in a new place, or they would have people stationed to get hand sanitizer.
Yes, and if you've been on a cruise before, you know all about the hand sanitizer stations, and it's at least double that amount of stations and importance. You went to Cabanas, and I went over to Flo's Cafe to get some of those chicken tenders when the first food we got, and there were so few people around. I just went through the exit end, not even thinking. I was thinking it didn't matter. No one was in line. And it didn't even occur to me that this poor lady is stationed at the other end to be sure people use what's it called? The Purell.
Sanitizer, Purell.
Yes. That she came over and chased me down. Oh, sir, please. She was very nice about it. But they were on top of things, but they were being professional and polite and all that stuff.
They were so polite, yes.
Yes. Did Disney supply Mickey mask? I bought one in the gift shop or on the island. I thought it was a cute design. They did not supply. This is a cloth reusable washable mask. They did not supply a mask in your room. I don't remember, Dale, did you say that they left Yeah, I think was it on Celebrity where they left masks and some things in your room? They didn't do that on Disney. They didn't have messing room. But if you got in line and you're like, oh, I forgot my mask, which I'll proudly say I didn't forget my mask anytime because I usually had 2 or 3 in my pocket. But I heard other people, and they had the standard surgical blue, white, whatever color, green masks that they would give you, the disposable ones. So they were sure that everybody had one, but they didn't put one in your room or any sanitizer or anything like that.
And you could wear your mask if you wanted to. You could wear your mask outside. It's up to you. So sometimes I forget to remove my mask when I was outside, and I just...
Yeah, okay, so I was trying to remember what Jen and Dale said. So Celebrity and Royal gave masks in the room. So I think that's a nice touch, and I think that would be a nice touch for Disney and other cruise lines to do. Disney does a lot of really nice little touches. I'm almost kind of surprised they didn't do something like that, but they were out there with the disposable ones, so they took care of what needed to be done.
Exactly.
Maybe they just didn't do the amenity process of putting it in a room.
They did provide lanyards.
Well, we got those because we're Castaway Club members now. This is our second Disney cruise, and we got the little backpack thing and everything. So that was nice.
They encourage you to carry your sail away card in these with a lanyard.
Yes, but I think you bought the one with Olaf, right?
I did at Castaway Cay.
Yeah, we were at Castaway Cay, which last time we went on a Disney cruise on Disney Dream, the wind was too strong. We couldn't stop there, so we were very happy we actually got to get off the ship and go to Castaway Cay and get a little bit of a suntan or burn. And at one point, you were sitting at a bar or at the little eating area, and you were surrounded by Olafs because we'd each bought a Olaf drink container, and you had your Olaf backpack from last time. And somebody asked you if you liked Olaf.
I'm like, yes. What gave it away?
Yeah, somehow they figured that out. So, when you are in an enclosed area on the ship, you have to wear a mask. So this is Joy inside near the elevators at Cabanas, and hanging out with a new friend there.
Oh yeah.
The bird doesn't have to wear a mask though. That doesn't seem fair.
Yeah.
But if you're seated, like here's Joy again later that evening at Apollo.
Yep.
You're seated at the table. I think I even see your mask there next to you.
Yep.
But you don't need to wear it unless once you sit down.
Exactly.
So I think that made a lot of sense.
Yeah.
What else do we need to tell them about food? I think we should talk about Cabanas a little bit more because I know they're doing pretty much what other cruise lines have done, which is to
they had like 4 stations that had the same exact food at the 4 stations, which I was surprised.
What does that have to do with the way things are different? That's okay. Was that different than last time? I think that was the sail away food. Let's talk about capacity. That's part of it. Okay. I think at certain times there is less of things because they were at 50% capacity, according to the bartender that I talked to, which I feel like that's about what it was. And 50% made a lot of sense because they basically had you seating at every other table. When we were on the, what's it called? The tram on Castaway Cay. It was every other row they had to sit in. It was a little more spread out. So yeah, I could see where there's less food.
And so they also had like the normal drink stations where you used to be able to go get your own drink and everything. They had a person at the drink station. Right. You would tell them, I'd like a Diet Coke, and they'd give you a little cup of Diet Coke.
Yep. Same thing with coffee in the morning at the buffet. If you went up to get food from the buffet, you weren't taking the spoon or the tongs and grabbing your own thing. Instead, they had, I don't know if you can see here, there's a plexiglass screen up in front of the food. And then the utensils are turned away from you because the person waiting on the side is politely waiting for you to tell them what you'd like, and they're dishing it up for you.
Yep, and you would just say, I'd like 2 grilled tomatoes and some focaccia bread, and put it on your plate.
Or like this morning when you graciously went and got me bacon, and
they give you a whole clump.
Yeah, I think you said another clump, please, because you came back with a ton of bacon. Wow.
Oh.
It's good. We're on a cruise. Might as well have some bacon. So that was one thing. Reduced capacity. Reduced capacity also meant that entertainment. Disney's well known for their entertainment, their shows. One thing they did to reduce the capacity, and we didn't end up going. We were going to go see the show, the Beauty and the Beast show. We saw a little bit of it on the screen in the room. It's not quite the same, but from what I understand, they had people spread out in the theater. But what they did was, instead of having like 3 different shows going on throughout the cruise, they had one show, just Beauty and the Beast for the live stage show, which at first I was like, well, why are they doing that? I mean, I think the reasoning is, if you have one show, you have fewer people coming each time because,
Yeah.
Yeah. If you have 3 shows, you got people trying to go see all the shows, and it gets crowded.
Oh, I didn't get to see the movie I wanted to see either. Oh, wow.
The movie?
Yeah.
Encantado? You saw that?
I didn't see the Asian.
Oh, the 12 Swords, or
yeah.
Yeah. Well, okay. We did it.
There was so much to do.
There always is. Let's talk about some of the things we did do. Have we covered kind of all the things that made it different this time? Can you think of anything else that made it different?
We took a drawing class.
Okay, but that's not really related to how the world has changed.
We didn't do that before.
Oh boy. We also didn't go to Vanellope's last time. This time we went to Vanellope's. What's Vanellope's?
It's an ice cream candy store.
That's right. It's themed after what movie?
Wreck-It Ralph.
That's right. And you can do the family challenge and get a six flavors ice cream in a big trophy cup, souvenir to take home.
Souvenir cup.
Or you can do like we did, and I'm not going to say who won, but you can get a race car sundae.
Oh,
3 different flavors ice creams, all the toppings that you might possibly want.
Oh my goodness. Sugar rush.
Yep, I finished mine. I'm very proud. So, that was a lot of fun too. It
was really good.
It was really good.
I couldn't finish all mine because I can't have that much sugar.
Yeah,
I have to limit myself.
Yeah, but you made up for it. This time you did something you didn't do last time.
What did I do?
There's a couple things you wanted to get from room service last time that you didn't do, and you did them this time. What are they?
So when you go on a Disney cruise, you can use room service to get a Mickey ice cream bar, chocolate ice cream bar. It was so much fun.
The Mickey ice cream bar.
And then you can also call room service and get the cake of the day.
The cake of the day. They have a different cake every day of the cruise. Just like they have a different drink every day of the cruise.
Yeah, that's
fun. A lot of fun. We got Julie in the house from the Bogues. Good to see you, Julie.
Hey, Julie.
We were just talking about you. We got to get in touch with you. Mm-hmm. It's been a crazy couple weeks, but the cruise made moving a lot nicer. It kind of was like a reward waiting at the end of all this, driving that big old truck down I-95 and everything.
It's playing follow the leader with big vehicle.
Yeah, you were following the Penske with the Jeep, and it was a slow caravan, but we got everything. We haven't found anything broken yet, have we?
No, don't jinx us though.
Oh, I just did. But anyway, the cruise was a great way to reward ourselves. It's like holding what do you hold at the end of the carrot? Holding the carrot out in front of the horse. Yeah, it's like holding the carrot out in front of this horse. Yeah, a Disney cruise. I think that would be amazing. We're ready to go again. We just got off one today and we're ready to go again.
I know it's the saddest day, but it's actually a good day because we get to talk to you.
It is. And our next cruise is not on Disney. It's going to be on what?
Norwegian.
Yeah, we're going to go back to Norwegian in a few months.
Can't wait.
Looking forward to that. That'll be a lot of fun.
I know.
What else do we have to say about the Disney cruise? Let's see.
They're amazing.
It's good. So when you're outside, no masks.
Yep.
You can see that this is during the day. We might have been in Castaway Cay or Nassau when this is going on, but you can see it's not terribly crowded. The promenade level, deck 4, around that side of the ship, looks like a lot of people here because it just happened to be a bunch of crew going by because they were working on a drill or something. But you could walk through this area and not wear a mask. And we realized really quickly, if you wanted, we were in a forward cabin. If we need to go aft to go to Palo or whatever, we would. Yeah, we could take off our masks if we went outside on deck 4.
Yeah.
Rather than going through the middle or on deck 11. Again, if it's a really crowded area, there's some areas where they might tell you to put on a mask outside. But generally, if you're outside playing golf on Goofy's miniature golf course or by the pool, yeah, no mask.
I saw a lot of people playing shuffleboard too.
Yes. And what about the characters? What was it like? How was it different meeting the characters this time? Because that's a big part of a Disney cruise.
Well, the characters, they weren't wearing masks, but they were distance apart. When the princesses did their meet and greet, the kids were.
Yeah, here's Cinderella. This is from the cruise we were just on. So Cinderella would kind of get down. They do a great job of relating to the kids, and they get down. And there's you can maybe see it there. The young lady there is standing on a circle that they put down, a little gold and tan circle. And Cinderella has sat down so she can make eye contact with her and still have physical distance. And it was the same when it comes to Mickey. I went by and saw Donald and Daisy at one point, and they had a rope up and they were waving. And Disney, I don't know if I should say this about a Disney cruise because you got really upset when I told you this. Came back to the room because you were doing something else, and I went by and saw Donald and Daisy. Daisy was flirting with me.
I know.
She was blowing me kisses and yeah.
So what I told him is I think I'm gonna order duck tonight.
Oh, that's right. That's right. You went to Remy and ordered duck. That was not. That was.
Show Daisy.
Okay, duck. Daisy, if you're watching, watch out. So
Peking duck.
Boy. So yeah. So it was a lot of fun on the cruise. This time, like I said, we got to go to Castaway Cay. The trams that take you to the different parts, they had you spread out every other row. So you weren't sitting, we didn't have somebody sitting right behind or right in front of you. So that was good. They encourage you to wear your masks while you're waiting in queues. Once you were on the tram, they weren't really policing it that much just because I think it would be hard for them to do it. The driver can't really do it. So it was kind of hit or miss if people were doing it. But you were physically distanced. So I think that was probably not really a big issue.
And the characters were out there too. So I don't know if you could hug the characters or.
No, I don't think you were able to get that close to the characters. Really, the way they were trying to do it is so you couldn't get really close to anybody unless they were in your travel party. And that includes the cast, the crew, and the characters. Julie Bogue says, Daisy gonna take your man.
Nope.
Daisy gonna take your man.
I'm gonna order Peking duck. Take that, Miss Daisy.
Daisy's wonderful, but I'm a fan of Joy, so she's my princess. Sorry, Daisy.
Thanks.
Sorry, you're stuck with Donald. So what else about the island? The drinks were good.
So when you ride on the tram, it will tell you the first stop is the kids area, family kids area.
Yeah, there's a couple stops that are kind of for family or kids, right?
They'll say this is where you can do the water adventure park, the tubing and stuff. And then the next spot is the
Pelican something, and then Serenity Bay. What's Serenity Bay?
Serenity Bay.
It's hard to say. Serenity Bay
is the adult area, and it was a lot quieter, and it was pretty spacious.
It was, and that's the one. If you're familiar with Castaway Cay, that's the one that is at the end. Drinks. Well, yes, that's at the end of the runway because they've actually got a runway on the island. And so you'll see that people riding bicycles on there, and that's where they run the 5K or part of it. And you go down there, and you truly are kind of separated out from the others. And that's where, yes, you can get your alcoholic drinks, and they've got a nice little outdoor food area. And among the food they were serving, they had ribeye steaks at this outdoor cookout, which was kind of nice. Good.
I took a little bit of his.
I knew there was some missing. I came back after I got my Diet Coke, and
it was a little bit that was hanging out.
I still got Daisy's number, just so you know. So, just a little bit.
So the second stop was the shopping area.
Yeah, what was the name of the shop that we bought souvenirs from?
I don't know.
She sells.
She sells. Seashores.
No.
Shell shores.
What does she sell?
She sells seashore.
Why would she sell a seashore? What do you find on the beach? The little
shells.
What's the name of the...
sells seashells.
That's right.
Try and say that a couple times.
I think you got it covered. Okay, well, anything that's stayed the same that you're surprised stayed the same. Well, I don't know, because I know there's been some talk about some of the cruise lines. It kind of varies in how strict they're being or whatever. Honestly, it felt and Dale and I know other people watching that have cruised before can relate to this, especially if you've gone on this is the first ship we've actually gone on a second time. Mm-hmm. We've been on Carnival several times, but different ships, and this is the first time we were on the same ship. And even when we were going back on Carnival, it always kind of feels like you're going home. It feels very familiar, whether in your room or in the areas that are kind of typical on all the ships. And being on the same Disney ship, the Disney Dream, after a little less than 2 years, is that right? Yeah. That it feels like we were back home, and you kind of forget, just like you might in other situations, that you're wearing masks or other people wearing masks at certain times. So much of it feels the same. So I'm trying to think.
It happened to me several times where I was coming from the outside and went through to cabanas, and the lady's like, "You need to wear a mask."
Yeah, you forgot. But Dale's asking if there's anything that stayed the same that we were surprised it stayed the same, considering the situation. I guess the only thing I can say is people are people. There's some people that are less willing to follow the rules or don't seem to care as much about following the rules. Generally, people were pretty good compared to some other environments I've been in. Nobody likes to wear them. Let's not get into talking about all that. Jeez, I get on my soapbox.
Cheese and crackers.
But for the most part, it felt like they really had thought it out well. Yeah. I think, considering that you have to have gotten the shot, unless you're in a very select group, then you have to go through other extra steps. I think they are not only protecting their customers, the passengers, their crew, but also reputation. So I think
didn't see any separation either.
Separation? What do you mean?
Of guest with crew, or like.
Yeah, well,
certain separations,
like physically distanced between like a crew member and a passenger.
No.
What do you mean?
Never mind.
Okay. Okay. So there's some. The thing is, and I've kind of experienced this. I don't know if any of you have done this, like where you go through a drive-through, because we, over the past year and a half or more, if we go to get food, it's either carry out or we're going through a drive-through. Mm-hmm. And there have been times where, especially when things were really rough, where I felt like I need to throw my mask on as the person in the car, because they were all wearing the masks inside the window.
Yeah.
Whether I did it or not, there's sometimes where I'm like, I went through my mask on and I got up there and they didn't have the mask on or whatever. But on the Disney cruise, all the crew that I saw were wearing the masks and wearing them appropriately, even if they were outside and we were allowed to take them off, even if we were sitting at the table eating dinner and they were serving us. So there was a point where, because this was a Christmas themed cruise, what's it called? Very Merry Time Christmas
Very
Cruise.
Merry Time Christmas. Yeah.
And the Dickens Christmas carolers were wearing masks, and it was the coordinated design and color with their outfit. So
I loved all the Christmas decorations. It was so pretty.
Yeah, it was beautiful. This is our first Christmas cruise.
I know.
Yeah. Okay.
The only bad thing was it wasn't long enough.
Yeah. Well, that's always the case. So Julie is saying that cruise wasn't as strict. Hers was a Carnival cruise. In the indoor areas. In the indoor areas, that's where they were the most strict, and it did. Most of the time it felt like there weren't that many people on board.
Only in the shopping areas where you had to be queued up,
Right. And they were really trying to control the capacity.
Yeah.
We're about 45 minutes in, so let's start to think about what else we need to say before we wrap things up. Anything else you want to share? Let's talk about just a couple things that people might not know about if they haven't been on a Disney cruise. What's this?
This is a cover that they have in your stateroom on your glasses. So you can know that your glass was clean because they'd have these on it.
Okay. Yeah.
So you would always tell that certain things were clean, yeah.
That's good. Yeah, and they were. I mean, but it's. I don't know if I could say that that's necessarily that different than before, because Disney has always goes so over the top with maintaining and cleaning, and that's like whether we were in Nassau or we were in Castaway Cay, we saw them out there painting the ship, working on the ship,
cleaning,
doing maintenance. It's just constant.
Even at 2 a.m. when I woke up and I decided to take a walk around the ship, they were cleaning the elevators, and there's nothing to eat at 2 a.m. I found out.
Yeah, that's the way it is on a lot of cruise ships. So Dale's asking if you took the glass off the ship too. He's suspicious.
No, I did not take the glass. This is actually from my watercraft that I have.
Yeah.
From my bathroom.
Yeah, we did notice. I think it's probably the same. A lot of the glasses, like even the really nice looking glasses we got like a cocktail in, you go to pick it up, or wine glass, you go to pick it up and you realize it's plastic.
Yep.
Which
all the glass.
I don't think
the glassware was plastic.
I think
I thought it was crystal, but
doing it.
Yeah.
And it may have been that way before. I don't remember that though. Mm-hmm. Okay, so what else do people need to know about a Disney cruise just in general, or any specific things? Do we talk about do you want to talk about the luggage tag system? Well, what did you think of that?
Make sure you have a spot for your card, because there were several times I thought I left the card somewhere, and I found it later in my purse.
Say hi to Alyssa. See you later, Julie.
Hi, Alyssa.
Take
Bye,
care,
Julie.
Alyssa. Talk to you later. We'll talk soon. Yeah, I'm not going to say what happened with your phone, but you want to have a good spot to keep everything.
Oh yeah.
You don't want to go to get off the ship and find out you left something behind.
Oh
so,
no.
If you've been on a cruise before, you know that they have a process for claiming your luggage, and Disney has something a little special. I don't know how well they can see that. If you can hold it a little closer, just one of them. So you get luggage tags the night before, just like you do numbered luggage tags, like you get on Carnival or Royal or any other cruise line, but they do the characters.
Yep. So we fill it out with the information on the back.
Yeah, we had this discussion this morning because last night in our room. Last time we had Daisy. Oh, we had Daisy luggage tags last time.
Did we?
I think she was sending me a message even back then.
Oh, that Daisy.
But this time they gave us Admiral, or is it Captain? Captain Mickey. Wait, so Donald's an Admiral and Mickey's a Captain? There goes my whole theory. So Captain Mickey tags.
Yeah.
And the whole night I'm packing, I'm thinking, hey, second cruise, I'm silver. They must think I'm special. I got the leader of the pack. I'm going to be first off the ship.
I didn't know how. Yeah. I'm like, why is he the leader of the pack? And he started singing.
Don't sing. It's YouTube.
Oh.
Yes.
He started singing the Mickey song.
Mickey Mouse Club theme song, yes.
He got to the Y, and I said,
no,
because I told you so.
Yes. Okay, So clearly you need to watch the Mickey Mouse Club. So anyway, spoiler alert, just because you have Mickey doesn't mean you're first off. Mickey was like 6th or 7th.
Yeah, they had it all mixed up.
Well, I don't know. I don't think you can count on it. Now that's one thing. I don't want to get negative here, but the one thing, the app had a lot of great information on it. Even like for Castaway Cay and Nassau, the 2 ports on this cruise, they had a way you could queue using the app to say, I want to get off the ship now, and it basically puts you in a queue, so you don't actually have to stand in a line on deck 1, and it lets you know when it's time for you to head down.
Right.
Which I thought was really nice. One thing I couldn't find in the app that I thought they should have had was we missed, because where were we? I forget where we were. It was somewhere noisy when they did the first announcement or two for luggage tags.
I think we were in the dining room.
We might have been in the dining room, yeah.
MDR room.
And we didn't hear it. And then when they said the next one, they didn't repeat that, okay, if you have, Minnie or Goofy, you can go. No, they just said the new one each time.
Yeah. So I happened to find this one on the ground. I didn't steal it from somebody's bag.
Dale, what do you think of that? So I wish they put on the app, here's all the tags that have been called.
Yeah, that would have been really nice, because they told you exactly what room you need, or not room, what dining room you need to go to for the MDR.
That's right. So Dale, it sounds like Dale and Jen are headed to the Mariner on the 9th. So you guys are going on another cruise already? I tell you.
I don't know how you guys do it.
Well, part of it's they live in Florida.
Well, yeah.
We should do that.
We are in Florida, though.
Hey, it's J&N Travels. We've got John and Nancy in the house. Glad you could stop by. We're talking about our Disney cruise. We just got off the ship this morning, and it was a little different, but it was still an awesome Disney cruise.
Yeah.
We recommend it.
Definitely.
Disney did a really good job, and based on this is our first one back. This is our first one back since things changed.
Our first one back, yes.
But based on what we've heard about other cruise lines and how they've handled it, we feel like Disney handled it as well as, if not better than others.
They were so smart.
So you want to keep everybody safe, especially when there's kids. Oh, we didn't talk specifically about kids. So we don't have kids. We have you like to call her our fur baby.
Right.
She's sleeping on the floor.
She's on the floor.
She's over here. Okay. I thought I heard little doggy snoring. So the kids, we went this past weekend, so it was the weekend after Thanksgiving, and normally I would think that might be a busier weekend, 3-night cruise. But again, the 50% capacity, even if you take out that out of the equation, I think the percent of kids, and you might disagree, was lower. Because when we were on the Disney Dream back in 2020, I honestly felt like the kids outnumbered the adults.
Oh, yes.
Easily.
Definitely.
Especially if you're in a pool deck.
Yep.
And we said it in our previous videos. I'll say it again. If you're adults traveling, or if you're traveling with kids and you just don't want to be around all the kids all the time, there are so many places to go that's just for adults.
They had these cool, cubby holes. Remember the brown?
Over by the district. So there's the district. There's several bars there. They can go and it's adults only at night, and a lot of the activities during the day are seminars just for adults. Like I did a whiskey tasting.
I did the stem to stern
the
wine tasting. And of course, he focused on me, and he's like, "So, did you like the wine?" And I'm like,
"Not really,
not really."
You should have gone to the mixology class, because I also did that, and they had some really good drinks there. So there's plenty of things for the adults to do. Plus, there's adult-only areas like the Cove Cafe, the Cove Pool, the Cove Bar, and there's also Satellite Falls, which I went to. I think you were doing something else when I went. That I hadn't discovered that the first cruise, and it's an area. It's kind of like Serenity on Carnival, where it's an adults only sit out area, and they've got like this little. It's one of those under one of the satellite globes. And they've got water.
Oh yeah, we did.
Did you see that?
We did sit there. Yeah.
So it's a really nice. So there's plenty of places for adults to go. So even when it's back to normal and when there's a lot of kids on there, there's places to go where you can find adult things to do, and not feel like you're just being surrounded by kids. But if you hang out by the pool during the day, hey, it's gonna be kids.
You can also get the drink of the day.
Again, you're talking about the drink of the day. They have an alcoholic and a non-alcoholic drink of the day every day. So that's a nice touch.
They were good drinks. We tried
a couple of those. They were good. What else do we need to say? Anything else we need to say about the Disney? We'll be sharing more information, more videos and stuff from our cruise. We're going to be sharing in the future our review of Remy, our first time going to Remy. That was very different. We've done Palo before. We've probably gone to Palo 5 or 6 times now total.
Remy.
Yes, that's one of that was a gift that you received from Remy on the way out. We won't reveal too much about that now. You can tell them next time. Leave them wondering what we're going to talk about.
Yeah,
what Remy provided to us. But the Apollo brunch, Apollo dinner, Remy dinner, a lot of good
food. The brunch
food
was amazing.
Yeah, you always love that brunch. But that's one thing we should bring up, because that was different than last time too.
It was.
Last time when you went to brunch, the dinner was pretty much the same, except for you had to wear the masks this time when you got up from the table. What was different about the brunches is last time, and I believe in the past, Apollo always did it where you'd go in and they'd take you to a room where they had a buffet set up.
Yep.
These different tables. You can see it in our video review of Apollo.
Yeah.
A table full of like
desserts,
shellfish and caviar and things like that. And then they had a table of breads and pastries, and then they had a table of desserts.
Right.
But
they were bite size.
Yes. But and then you would take those and they'd keep bringing stuff to you. You didn't have to get yourself. They'd show it to you and they'd bring it to you, and then they'd bring you an entree too.
Right.
This time they had some of what they had, the kind of those sorts of things laid out on the menu as an appetizer. Like instead of having the shellfish there for you to go to the table and say, I want that, I want that, I want that, they had like what do you call it?
Antipasti.
Like an antipasti plate of shellfish, or you could get an antipasti plate of more traditional charcuterie of meats and cheeses and stuff like that. And so that was different. And then you still had choices of different entrees and appetizers and desserts. You just didn't get the little bite size, which I know you enjoyed having the little bite size.
That was the only thing.
Yep.
Like the desserts, they used to be bite size, and not that I'm complaining that they didn't give us big desserts, but
yeah, it's not like you couldn't get anything you wanted. And
you
the
couldn't
menu,
pick and choose.
The menu pricing changed too. I don't know if that was necessarily related to the changes, but it's a lot easier to go and spend more money now, because they've got a prefix menu where you pick from each course like 2 or 3 different things, and then you're just charged $45, which I think per person, which I think it was $40 last time, or you go a la carte, and in order to get what we got at Apollo, at least I got twice the Dover Sole, which was amazing. And we'll do a review of Apollo too. So rambling on. Next time we're going to talk about the people behind the cruise. Scene?
Behind the cruise, yeah.
Well, I thought we were going to call the people behind the cruise.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to be talking about, we're going to approach it from a couple different angles, and we hope to have we're working on getting some exciting interviews with some special guests on here again. Now that we're in Florida, we've kind of gotten off track with everything. We've missed some live shows. We want to get back on track. We want to bring you some people that are more fun to listen to than me ramble on and say stuff I already said. So join us next Monday.
Next Monday
at 8:00.
At 8:00.
And anything else we need to say?
Thanks for watching. And remember to give us a thumbs up if you like this video.
Crew behind the cruise. Oh, yeah.
That's great.
That's okay. We might steal that. Okay, so what were we saying?
Did I
just ruin your ending?
Give us a thumbs up if you liked our video. It helps us a lot.
And subscribe if you haven't subscribed.
Yeah.
Anyway, thanks for watching. For those of you who join us, a special thanks to you for dropping by and joining us live. We appreciate that. If you're watching in the future, be sure to leave your comments, give us a thumbs up, and join us. Hey, join us live next time.
Yes.
Mondays at 8:00 Eastern time. That's right. Even though we're in Florida, the time hasn't changed. Thanks for watching.
Thank you for watching.
Are we done?
I think so.
Bye.
Bye.
See you real soon.